Okay, welcome to the Home Ec Laundry Room. Here we have our front-loading washer and dryer. Your washer and dryer at home may or may not look like this. I will take you through this process and then we'll talk briefly afterwards about a top loader in case that applies to you. So in a front-loading machine, you can see that the drum is down below. If I open this door and fill it with clothes and then close the door and go to start the machine, of course the water is going to fill up, so I can not open that door once the load has started. So we need to be a little bit organized before we get going. Okay, if you have a top loading machine at home, you can start your water first, add your detergents, and then put your clothes in. This design is different. You have to put your clothes in first, close the door, and then you deal with your detergents up here. So on this front loader, there's a little tray. You have to click over and slide it open, and it has compartments. This compartment over here is for your detergent. You can use dry or a liquid detergent, and sometimes these detergents are specialized for this type of machine. These machines operate on less detergent than top-loading machines, and detergents these days are so highly concentrated that you really don't need very much soap to do a whole big load of laundry. Okay, there's also a section here for liquid bleach and a section for fabric softener if you choose to use those products. The liquid bleach is designed in such a way that it will just slowly drip as the water is entering the machine so that you don't have big bleach spots on your clothes. So once you get your detergent in here, okay, you close it. Then you come over and you see there's all these different symbols, okay? So here we have our wash rinse temperature. You can see that it's set on a cold wash and a cold rinse. This is my standard choice, okay? If you're washing whites, for example, or things that are really soiled, you may choose to have a warm wash and a cold rinse, or even a hot wash and a cold rinse. Okay, if you have things that are, well, very heavily soiled, you can go a warm wash and a warm rinse. I rarely use that. I usually always do a cold rinse. It's more economical. This would be because you're not heating that water for the second rinse. Okay, and so that's why I make that choice. This is your signal cycle. If you want it to buzz at you to let you know that it's done, that's handy when you have, if it's laundry day and you have several loads to do, then you know that it's time to put those clothes over into the dryer or hang them out on the line. Not many people hang their clothes on the line anymore these days. It's kind of time consuming, but around these parts it's still an effective and cheap way to dry your clothes. Here's an extra rinse option. So again, if you have clothes that are really dirty and you want to rinse them a second time, you can choose yes, and it'll run it one more time through the rinse cycle. That's going to use more water again. You can see that that's your rinse, okay? And finally you have your main dial that's showing you the different types of cycles. So typically we'll choose a regular cycle, okay, just on a regular wash. You don't necessarily need that heavy wash, again, unless your clothes are particularly dirty. Okay, you can see that this is your rinses and spins cycle. So rinsing is after the wash, it fills up with water again and then spins that out. Okay, in order to make this work, you have to push it in and spin it around. And when you're ready to start the cycle, you'll set it right where you want it and then pull it out and it'll start. There's other cycles here you can see depending on whether you're washing delicates. Okay, and then it won't spin as fast, but you'll probably be using a regular cycle. Before you start, you're going to want to separate your laundry. So you do not want to wash your darks with your lights. Okay, so some people have two separate baskets and they can keep their dark stuff in a separate space. Here you can see this is all kitchen laundry, so typically I'll do all that on its own. Towels, bath towels, you don't want fuzzies from your bath towels to be on your nice fancy new back to school clothes. Okay, so after that's done and you head over to your dryer, Again, you've got temperature settings. So these are set to the Knits Delicates, which is a lower heat. That's because when we wash our jerseys, they're made out of a polyester fabric with a iron-on numbers, and those are delicate. Okay, so we put those on a lower heat so that they're not damaged. For your own standard laundry, you might choose a regular heat. Again, you have a signal choice if you want to know when it's done. Here's your turn to start button, but before you do that, again, you have to choose what signal you're looking at. So I like to use a timed drying because then I know sometimes if you set that for 60 minutes, but it's only going to take 35 to dry your clothes, well then you're running your dryer for a lot longer than it needs to, and it costs you money and it wastes energy. So typically I will run mine for about 35 minutes. Okay, and I'll press it, I'll turn it to start, and then when it buzzes at me, okay, I know to come back over to my dryer, open it up, okay, I just open up the door, and I feel in there, and I think, oh, yeah, those are dry, actually, we're good. And then I know I can take them out and fold them. Before I start a load, I always need to check my lint screen, okay, so this lint screen really needs a clean, okay. Before I want to use my dryer, I'm going to take all of that lint off, okay, and then the dryer doesn't have to work as hard, okay, and it's much better on your clothes. Every time you wash and dry, keep in mind this is coming off your clothing. So if you wear something for 10 minutes and change your mind and chuck it on the floor and it goes into the wash, if it wasn't really dirty, remember you're losing the number of times you can wear that garment, because every time you wash it, it breaks down a little bit. So just think about that when you're going to do your laundry. Is this really dirty? Do I have to clean it? Okay. Or can I hang it out on the line to dry instead? And that's a lot easier on my clothes. Okay, so I hope that this helps you when you go to do your laundry assignment at home. Good luck.